Hello, and welcome to the Tufts School of Arts and Sciences Commencement Ceremony. My name is Sam Thomas. I'm the Dean of Academic Affairs for Arts and Sciences and a professor of chemistry. It's my honor to be here today to recognize the achievements of our graduates. We are so proud of the over 1,200 students graduating today across the School of Arts and Sciences, the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, and the School of the Museum of Fine Arts. Now, I know we are also joined today by thousands of family members, friends, alumni, faculty, and staff who are tuning in from across the globe and are likewise excited and proud to celebrate our graduates. So wherever you are across the world, welcome. To get things started, I am so happy to introduce James M. Glaser, Professor of Political Science and Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences.
Welcome, class of 2021, families and friends. Here we are at the end of an extraordinary year. Extraordinary in challenge, a test like none other, but a test that we've passed. It's so unfortunate that we're unable to mount a normal commencement ceremony to mark the completion of your degree and to send you out into the world with a bang in front of your friends and family. It just couldn't happen. But earlier this year, the leaders of the TCU Senate suggested that we host smaller, socially distanced, in-person ceremonies. This way we could recognize students individually in front of some of their friends and faculty, in caps and gowns, with pomp and circumstance, and some inspirational speeches and meaningful advice. It was a compelling idea coming from you, our students, and Dean Q and I embraced it. After getting approval from the university's public health leadership, we enlisted the help of our Student Services Administration, and they have done heroic work to plan and execute 57 different ceremonies. These ceremonies have taken place over 3 weekends, so as to make them free of conflicts with classes. They've been a big lift, but they're a reflection of how important we think commencement is and how much we have wanted to give you an in-person experience. I'm so pleased that we've been able to make this brilliant student-initiated idea a reality, and I hope you enjoy watching the ceremonies as they're streamed as part of today's commencement. I remember well my own commencement back in 1983 when I graduated from Stanford University. I remember the commencement address. It was given by George Shultz, who was President Reagan's Secretary of State. I remember protesting the administration's Central America policies at commencement by wearing a banner that read, "Support Human Rights." It wasn't the most potent of protests, but a university is a place where you're supposed to be able to express yourself, and I did. And I remember the joy of the day, followed by the feeling I had after saying goodbye to my folks of, what now? Robert Frost once wrote that nothing gold can stay. And of course I knew I wouldn't be able to stay in my campus cocoon, a place that had been so comfortable and one filled with friends, a place where I pretty much knew what every day would bring, and a place where people affirmed my efforts on a regular basis. But I didn't know what would happen as I stepped into the real world, and I have to admit that it was a bit intimidating. At this point, I would note that I had not been successful in lining up post-graduation employment. The country was in a recession at the time, and it felt like a daunting exercise. Perusing something that we used to call the classified ads, I applied to hundreds of jobs. The Career Center at Stanford in those days was a little office with some loose-leaf binders in it, and I worked my way through those binders and typed a lot of letters with an old-fashioned typewriter. With all the application letters I sent out, I also received hundreds of rejection letters. I could have wallpapered my apartment with all those letters. One of the letters I sent out was to the United States Supreme Court. They had a program where they hired recent college graduates, and I got a very nice rejection letter from them. But a few weeks later, I got a phone call. Their first choice had turned them down. Might I be interested in an interview? I actually got that job, and I moved to Washington, D.C. I found a place to live. It was a little apartment in the basement of a family's home. My room was next to the washer and dryer, and I slept on a pull-out sofa and cooked on a hot plate. But it was great as I went to work at the court. It was terrifically exciting to be in the halls of power, so close to where momentous things happened. What did I do? I did research and wrote speeches for the assistant to the Chief Justice, Justice Warren Burger. One of my boss's jobs was to brush the dandruff off the chief's shoulders before he walked into a room. That gives you some sense of how important I was. I was the assistant to the dandruff brusher. But it was a great experience, really a phenomenal experience for a recent college graduate, and it turned into an incredible year. Life lesson number one for recent graduates: you only need one job at a time. The rejections don't matter, nor does the fact that they initially liked someone else better. One of the things I especially liked about working at the court was that after hours, I would play basketball with the clerks. It was in a gymnasium that was in the court's attic above the law library. We called it the highest court in the land. I wasn't a very good player, but I loved hearing the clerks talk about the justices. A little bit of gossip and insight. My basketball career lasted until one of Justice Powell's clerks elbowed me in the back as we were both pursuing a loose ball, and I bruised my kidney. It was very painful. Life lesson number two: don't play basketball with short type A personalities. I spent that year at the court surrounded by history and important people. Several important cases were decided that year, and I learned a lot about the law. I also learned that a career in the law was not for me, that I was temperamentally and intellectually suited to a more academic career. It was important to get a taste of some of the alternatives that year, and invaluable to rule some things out. That's a career-building lesson, I suppose. Life's too short to be doing something that you're not suited to. I love the work that I do now. I look back at the path that started when I was where you are now. At the time I graduated, I wouldn't have predicted that I would become a dean. I didn't know what a dean was or what a dean does. I had some lucky opportunities, and I knew to seize them. The luckiest thing to happen to me was that I came to Tufts. My wife and I thought we'd be here for 3 years, and that was 30 years ago. But here's the point. My path was wandering, and I didn't have perfect information about my choices. That said, looking back on it, my career makes perfect sense to me. I guess that's the last life lesson I have for you. Don't obsess over the destination. You may not fully know what the destination is, but you'll get there. And most importantly, I recommend that you enjoy the journey. Good luck to you all, class of 2021.
Greetings, dear members of the class of 2021, and congratulations on finishing your degree. I am honored to have the opportunity to address you briefly today. As the Dean of the School of the Museum of Fine Arts and a professor of philosophy, I am here to tell you that among your other achievements as a Tufts student, You have become an artist. That is true regardless of which degree program you've completed, or what you've been studying, or whether you can draw a smiley face without making a mistake or sing even one note on key. You see, making art isn't about having some kind of natural bent or gift. It's about committing yourself to exploring an idea or a passion or even a fear that takes hold of you and won't let you go. It's about accepting the inevitable obstacles that will get in your way, even in the best of times, and somehow finding a path forward. It's about being brave enough to show your work, whether it's a dance routine or a lab report or a history paper or a math quiz, to an expert, and to survive the experience of being judged and learn something from it. It's about improvising your way through this unprecedented year and emerging as a person with a degree from Tufts University. Of course, it's possible to go through life without acknowledging the artist within you, without giving yourself full credit for what you've achieved. It's easy to do what I used to do and let fear and self-doubt, exhaustion and anxiety control your sense of who you are and what you can do. But when you feel that way, consider turning to art. Read, write, make something, watch something, sing something, connect with the force of creativity that we human beings are blessed to be able to harness. I hope that on this momentous day, you are taking the full measure of your achievements and giving yourself all the credit you deserve for making it to the finish line. I am full of awe for you and congratulate you, the people who have helped you to make it to this day, and especially the artist within you, waiting to carry you through whatever your next challenge may be.
Hello, I'm Robert Cook, Dean of the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences. I'm delighted to welcome everyone to this celebration of all the graduates from the School of Arts and Sciences, and most especially the graduate students from the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences. Parents, family members, friends, distinguished colleagues, faculty, mentors, and alumni, we're here for a great and common purpose: to recognize, honor, and celebrate the class of 2021. We have over 1,000 undergraduates receiving a degree from the school, all of whom will be going on to the next chapter of their lives with an excellent education and a wealth of developed life skills and lifelong relationships. In addition, I am especially proud of the 56 doctoral and 248 master's degree graduates for this May. These are the highest degrees awarded from within the academy. These graduate students have spent years aiming for the highest standards of scholarship. Today, we pause to celebrate their astounding achievements. My desire, of course, is to make this year's graduation special and different. That is hard to do at a graduation. There are over 10,000 graduation speeches done each year. I'm sure that every piece of advice about college, advanced degrees, life, career, and adulthood has been covered by someone. That said, I will not let those daunting numbers stop me today. Now, my son is finishing his junior year in college. Next year, I'll be sitting out there waiting eagerly, and as I imagine myself sitting there, what would I like his commencement speakers to be saying to him? Of course, I'll probably be thinking, please be brief, so I can just see my son walk across the stage. So I will be. My first piece of advice to our graduates is that you are now joining the exciting arena of debate about the future of the world. As you join this conversation, be bold and dream big. We desperately need your fresh ideas. In fact, your ideas and thoughts are essential. You see the world with new eyes, with new concepts, ones that have been informed and advanced by your education and experiences here at Tufts. We need your participation. It is your time to lead, so don't take a back seat. Always question authority and try to make this world a better place with your actions. Your generation's commitment to knowledge, lifelong learning, the common good, and active citizenship are important traits. It is important to try and rock the world with your ideas and to move it in a new and better direction. This brings us to the second important point that I'd like my son to hear. It is essential that you find and follow your passion. One of the important values of an advanced education is getting the chance to discover your strengths and your passions. As you move forward into the long period of time that is adulthood, it is important that you do the things that you love. Don't fall prey to the expectations of other people or the pursuit of simply material things. It's an easy thing to do, but I suggest that if you pursue such paths, you'll find yourself at some point saying, much like the classic Talking Heads song, Once in a Lifetime, how did I get here? Achievements are very important, don't get me wrong. Be bold, but find what you love to do and each day will be timeless. I suspect you already know what that is. Take advantage of your flair, your strengths, whether it is visual, manual, artistic, analytical, emotional, or whatever you are good at, do that. Don't do what others desire or what you think the world expects. Define yourself. Finally, the third value that is essential is the lasting connection between family and friends. Never forget that. This was brought home for me when my father was very, very sick a few years ago. We spent several weeks talking in the hospital. During that time, we never talked about his achievements as a professor or my own. No, we spent our time talking about people and the things we did together, like family vacations, going to Cooperstown, summer road trips, and many other good times. The same is true for you. Take a moment, bring up a memory of your time here at Tufts. I suspect it's not in a classroom or writing a paper or taking a test. Rather, it is time you spent with your friends and colleagues, laughing or sharing a meaningful moment in the lab or having profound talks late into the night. It is these moments of deep human connection that are the real reward. Thus, as you pursue the thing you love and attempt to make the world a better place, stop, appreciate, and revel in the people around you. Remember that among the greatest achievements that you can have in the future is to support or comfort a friend in a time of need, or to be there to share their moments of triumph. It's these little moments, these moments of being selfless and giving back, that define our humanity. I hope that would be what my son will hear next year, because you just did. So in closing, I want to extend my personal congratulations to all the graduates today. It is your intelligence, commitment, hard work, and resilience that have brought you here to this great day. You have earned it. Enjoy every moment of it. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Bárbara Brizuela. I'm one of the Deans of Academic Affairs for the School of Arts and Sciences, and I am a professor of education. Graduates, what you have accomplished in the last year and a half by bringing your studies to a close in the midst of a pandemic is truly remarkable. Your tenacity, flexibility, and resilience have been very clear to us, and they are all amazing skills to have as you take the next steps in your lives. We hope you stay in touch with us and with each other, and that you enjoy the journey ahead. On behalf of the Dean's Office, our faculty, our staff, and myself, we wish you our most heartfelt congratulations and admiration. This concludes our Arts and Sciences ceremony. We invite you to watch the ceremonies of our departments and programs where students will be individually recognized for their achievements. Thank you.